Going on, people? Welcome to the channel once again. It's Slick Mason here, and I just had another topic here that I wanted to discuss with you guys today, which is you're never too old to rap and make music. Now, the reason why I wanted to discuss this topic is because there are some groups that have come out recently, like Pete and Bass, for example. It's a UK group. These guys look, like they should be in a retirement home somewhere, just sitting around, resting and waiting for the Grim Reaper to come get them. But they're out there. They're doing their thing. They're actually spitting bars, right? And that kind of uh, phenomenon that's taking place right now gave me inspiration for this topic because I think um, some people out there need to understand it, or at least hear this from somebody else, right? And also understand that um, you're never too old to actually start rapping if that's something you've always wanted to do, or um, if you're already a rapper and you feel like you're too old in the industry, you're actually not that old when it comes to this, because guys who are 80 years old, guys who are 50, guys who are 60 are popping off right now, right? We're in a different world. There's different things going on, and um, pretty much we have access to more people, and everybody's more connected with social media and YouTube algorithms and all that. So um, let me not waste your time anymore. I'll just get into it real quick. So the first point that I wanted to bring up is that you have a maturity advantage when you're an older rapper or artist, right? So when you look at the industry, they see it as how young everybody is. So everybody looks to be young, right? You got to be young, you got to be fit, you got to be moving around and doing all this stuff. But at the end of the day, people relate to an artist not just because of their physical attributes or their youth, right? People mature with time, right? And they start to get different crowds coming in to support them at that point in time. So you may lose some fans, but at the end of the day, the people will stick around, and then the newer fans that you get as you mature, right? That's who will pretty much keep you going and keep you wanting to make more music as you grow old into old age and stuff, right? And continue also giving you the inspiration to continue going, right? So me personally, when I make music, I feel alive, right? It's something that's a part of my life right now. It's something that's in my bloodstream. I just can't get rid of it. So no matter how hard I try and I try to stop doing this, it's I've always failed to stop it. It's something that I have to keep going on and doing, right? Because it's therapeutic to me. It's something that helps me to express myself and connect with people, right? And people like it. Some people like it. So that's why I keep doing it. Anyways, I'll go on to the second point here, which is they're shredding the youth obsessed ego, right? So for a minute, I felt like, you know, an outsider. Like I caught myself trying to force a style that wasn't me to fit into a certain mold, right? So there's the thing about rap music is that everybody's trying to act hard, and act like they should be like a tough dude or whatever it is, but you don't necessarily need to do that, right? Now, I do like the competition aspect of it, the battling part of it, because if someone did throw a diss at me, I have to stand up and be a man in that case, and also punch back, right? But now I wouldn't punch back physically. I wouldn't be violent about it. Right? I wouldn't get personal with them unless they cross the line. Then now we got a problem. But I wouldn't physically harm them. Right? If that makes sense. We just keep it to the bars on the tracks, and keep going back and forth as much as possible, because at the end of the day, that drums up the hype, right, for the music, and people start listening to lyrics more attentively, right, is what I noticed when it came to a lot of beef situations. So that's something that I think is healthy for hip hop. However, just putting on this persona thing where you try to act like you're a gangster, that's what I tried to try to fit into when I was younger, and it just didn't fit with me, right? It didn't sit right. So I decided to just be myself and continue trying to put more of myself into the music. And right now is a better time than ever to pretty much express yourself as who you are, as opposed to trying to be what the industry is telling you to be, or what the industry is saying you should be in order to make it, right? So keep that in mind. So the other point I wanted to bring up is the precision of production when you get older as an artist and a rapper, right? Is that now you have a palette that has been introduced to so many different tastes of music and artists that you could bring a different aspect, a different sonic quality, a different perspective when it comes to lyrics. And also, you can mix genres a lot more. You could experiment a lot more, especially with an older demographic, is that they appreciate stuff where there's something they've never heard before. And I've had people come up to me and go like, "Hey, that it's interesting how you used that here or did that here, right? Oh, I liked how you did that with the flows that you were putting together, right? So that's the kind of stuff that encourages me to keep going. Also, as I continue to, approach my 40s at this point, because I'm 38 right now. Another thing is that you have the craft versus content velocity, right? So when it comes to the craft that your craft that you're working on now, when I was younger, yes, I liked focusing on the craft, right? But I wasn't creating stuff as fast as I should have, right? But then I got to a point where I was creating so much stuff on a regular basis, but then it wasn't the quality that I wanted it to be at, right? So I have actually gotten to a point where I found that balance, where I can create, where I can balance the quality of my craft with the velocity at which I'm making stuff, right? So I think I'm in a flow state nowadays, right? So I don't struggle as hard to come up with concepts and write my lyrics and think of melodies and put together beats and produce them, right? So at this point in time, at my age right now, I think I'm the best I've ever been as far as my artistry is concerned. And I think that's something that a lot of artists go through, is that some of them actually just do, let's say they start out being an artist, they just do it once in their life, and then they decide, you know what, this is not working, and they leave, right? That's fine, they stop doing it. But some of us, it's something that we just can't let go of. No matter how hard we try, this is what our life is about, right? This is like breathing to us, right? So we need this outlet in order to express ourselves, and it just so happens that people gravitate to it and they relate to it and they want us to keep going, right? So that's what feeds my ambitions, I guess, and it feeds my obsession with this art form, right? So I continue to push and continue to push boundaries and create more, because there are people who give me that encouragement to keep going, right? And that's why I do it. So the other thing is that we're redefining success for longevity, right? So what that means is the age range that was ideal for hip hop before, right, which was somebody in their 20s to their 30s, right? That was the ideal age. And then you have the Jay-Z's that were, continuing the longevity through their 30s and their 40s and stuff, right? And now you have dudes you've never even heard of, like Pete and Bash, popping off at 80, 70s and 80s, right? Dude should be on the retirement, in the retirement home, on bedridden, just waiting, waiting for death, right? That's something that I think is encouraging, right? And that's probably honestly keeping them alive, man. It's keeping them alive. It's keeping them alive, right? So I think the younger generation actually is supporting their music, or even people who are middle aged like myself that are fans of their music, are the ones injecting more of that energy back into them, so they feel like, hey, I still got, right. I had this talent with me this whole time. So imagine if they never did that, and they left this earth and never made this music and shared it. It would have never, known they even existed. Somebody would have mentioned them and they never popped off. So we appreciate the older artists like that that show us that talent can actually reach a high level even at that age, right? So that's pretty encouraging. So speaking of encouraging, I wanted to bring up something that I'm putting together, which is a fundraiser to get this music out there to you guys wherever you are. So if you're subscribed to my channel and you're willing to contribute, I will organize a show in your town, right? It's something that I'm planning to do, and also just to show my appreciation to you guys. The first 50 people who buy tickets in the locations that I do come and visit and perform will be getting some free merchandise, right? That I'll be putting together in a package with a thank you note, right? So that's something I'm going to give to you guys as a gift for following along with me on this journey, my career as an artist, and also supporting the channel. The other thing that I will be doing is when I go to these towns or these cities, I will try to find artists who haven't started popping up, artists you've never even heard of, that are pretty much performing at a high level, but just haven't gotten that recognition. Right? So that's something I'm willing to do because I think letting these people find their people, right? Exposing them to a different audience that has never heard of them, right, could give them the opportunity they need as well in order to grow their fan base and try to continue doing what they do and get the support they need to continue showing people their talent and entertaining them and helping to build their communities, right? So to me, I like building ecosystems. I think what I'm trying to do here actually is to build an ecosystem where we could support each other. We could discuss these topics together. We can talk about music. We can also collaborate and create music with each other, right? And bring light or shed a light on certain artists that people have never heard about as well. So we can try to grow a community here, right? And get things going where we support each other and we're not starving artists pretty much, right? I think we can create that. I think that's something that is possible. I think we can all help each other grow at the same time, as opposed to saying, hey, I'm just gonna get whatever money I could get out of my fans, and then once the well dries out, I leave and go into obscurity, and you just kind of remember me as some kind of pocket in time there, and nothing, like there's nothing of substance that I left behind, or at least if I left something behind, I never went out with a bang, right? I never went out on the best of terms with my fan base or with the people that supported me, right? So just wanted to let you guys know that. Please comment down below what you think. If you think you're a person who would never continue rapping or doing music as an older person, even into your 80s, let me know why, right? I mean, saying it's a young man's game these days, I think, is outdated. And I think we've gotten to a point where a lot of mature and older artists are able to reach the demographics or reach the people, their people, that can actually support them all the way through their lifetimes until the day they kick the bucket. So once again, like, share, and subscribe to this channel, and I'll be back tomorrow with another video. I'm trying to release videos Monday to Friday, and then I will be dropping a freestyle twice a month, right? So just a short freestyle twice a month, and 5 videos you'll be getting every week. So stay tuned, and we'll talk soon. Later.